Are you tired of trying everything to lose that stubborn menopause weight, but still seeing no results? I get it. I was stuck in the same place. No one told me that perimenopause could start in my early 40s, so I struggled for years trying to lose the weight, hoping to feel like myself again. Once I made some key changes, I lost 30 pounds and gained energy I hadn't felt in years. In this video, I'm sharing the 21 eating hacks that actually helped me get there. Hacks that work with your body, not against it. Now, some of these you might have already heard, but if you're not practicing them, it's time to ask yourself why. Now, the other ones might surprise you, and I encourage you to stick around for the last one because it is crucial for long-term success. So let's start small. The first hack helped me jumpstart my progress, and I had never heard of it till I was 46. Nowadays, I think we hear about it a lot more, but taking care of our gut health, that's one of the root causes that makes some of that weight stubborn and hard to lose. So I like to do things more addition rather than subtraction. So my first step was adding fermented foods to my diet. That helps you get that good gut bacteria that's going to help you digest better and get more of those nutrients out of your food. So I always have on hand is some sauerkraut, and I get it if you don't like that at first. I've actually developed a taste for it. Some unsweetened yogurt. Make sure you really look at the labels because they love to add a lot of sugar to this, and then it becomes a dessert and it's not really helping you. And then if you don't like those, start with a good quality probiotic. That's going to help you get your gut health back on track. That's why I like this one to start with. It's adding something to your plate. It's not counting calories. It's taking a baby step into better health. Eating hack number 2 to lose that stubborn weight comes to us at the restaurants. Now, if I was a restaurant owner, knowing what I know, and I wanted more people to buy dessert, this is what I would do. Offer them free bread basket, free chips and salsa, or entice them with an alcoholic drink that's loaded with sugar. And the reason why is when you start with those carbs or sugars, you're going to spike your blood sugar. And what goes up must come down. And when you hit that low point of blood sugar, which is usually about an hour, hour and a half, that's when you're going to start craving sugar. And guess what? That's about the time the waitress comes by with the dessert menu. So then it's very easy to say yes to that dessert. At first, you don't have to deny yourself the bread, the chips, the cocktail. Just delay it. Delay it till later in the meal. I've experimented with this and I know I eat a whole lot less chips and I feel more energized when I leave the restaurant if I wait to eat it after my meal. Now I can polish off a good basket of chips and salsa if I start with that. So delay, don't deny, and see how you feel at the end of the meal. Tell me in the comments, is the cocktail, the bread basket, or the chips and salsa more tempting? Now, in the interest of time, I've got my list. I'm going to go a little faster. Pick the ones that are going to work for you and start experimenting with it. And if you want me to go deeper into them, let me know in the comments and I'll do a future video. So that brings me to eating hack number 3. Now, this is going to sound simple, but I'm not good at it, but my husband is. That is just chewing more. This is going to sound gross, but you want to chew till your food is almost liquid. This is the first step in the digestive process. This allows you to eat slower and stop before you get stuffed. Just practice chewing more. Eating hack number 4 involves this. We're all carrying around these water bottles, drinking water all the time, which is fantastic. But this is one time when I want you to put the water away. Eating hack number 4 is don't drink water during your meal. 30 minutes before or 30 minutes after. Because when you drink water during the meal, it helps you eat faster and helps you eat more. Now, eating hack number 5 simplified things for me. It gets exhausting trying to decide what to eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every single day. So the first step I did was I standardized what I ate for breakfast. I no longer came in the kitchen in the morning thinking, what am I going to eat? I either have Greek yogurt with berries and some nuts and some protein powder, or I have scrambled eggs and maybe bacon or sausage. I prep that and decide on Sunday what I'm gonna have that week and stick to it. So that's one less decision I have to think about for the day. And that leads me right into eating hack number 6. I want you to switch from a sweet breakfast, think muffins, cereal, pancakes, waffles that we grew up on, and switch to a more savory breakfast. The Greek yogurt that's unsweetened, the eggs, maybe chia seed pudding, a protein shake that doesn't have a lot of sugar. You want savory. It could even be leftovers from the night before. The food companies wanted us to start with sugar, just kind of like those restaurant owners, because when you start with sugar, you're gonna have that blood sugar crash and you're gonna wanna crave more of it. So think savory, not sweet. If you're having a hard time figuring out what to eat, download my free meal prep guide and I'll give you some ideas that are gonna help you stay on track and feel your best while you're on this weight loss journey. Eating hack number 7 really comes into play mid-afternoon when that energy slump happens and you wanna head to the pantry to get a snack. I want you to think about have meals, not snacks. And that doesn't mean you don't get to eat between lunch and dinner. If you're hungry, I believe you should eat. But I want you to not have naked carbs. Don't have carbs alone. Like I used to have the crackers or the chips or even a banana. Instead, how can you add protein and fiber to that? Maybe it's a handful of nuts and some cheese, or maybe it's guacamole and crackers. Think of how to make it a more well-rounded meal, and it can be a mini meal. And I also want you to put it on a plate, sit down, and think about actually enjoying that food. I know if I'm standing right here at the pantry eating as I go, I'm gonna eat a whole lot more because I'm not even focused on it. But when I sit down, have a little mini meal, it's satisfying and it gets me there till dinner. And what makes this easier is make the hard decisions at the store. Leave the Oreos, leave the chips, the things that are hard to resist, leave them at the store so they're not calling your name behind this door. Now this next hack really was what fueled some of my early weight loss. It helped me burn fat and really see the scale start to move. And that is closing the kitchen after dinner. After I cleaned up the kitchen from dinner, closed the dishwasher, closed the pantry, turned the light off, and I stopped eating. Now, if you're a nighttime snacker, have a glass of wine on the couch, you're gonna baby step this. Maybe back it up 15 minutes at a time. But when you stop eating after dinner and give your body a couple hours before bed to digest, you're gonna see some more of that fat burning benefits and more rest and repair overnight. This is the beginning step of intermittent fasting that you've probably heard about. Eating hack number 9 piggybacks off that. Once you've got that down where you're not snacking at night right before bed, then I want you to adjust your breakfast time. Maybe delay it a little bit. I used to wake up hungry because I was eating all night. But slowly but surely, I adjusted my hunger hormones. I delayed breakfast at first 30 minutes and then an hour. Now I love my morning time with a slow cup of black coffee, reading my devotional, maybe going to the gym, and then coming and breaking my fast with a good hearty breakfast that I've already standardized. So delay breakfast, maybe 15 minutes until you get used to that, and then keep going. And you want to get 12 to 16 hours of a fast from when you stop dinner to when you start breakfast, somewhere in there. And I don't do this the same every day. It's just listening to my body. And when I'm hungry, I eat. But when I can go longer, I lean into that fat burning mode. Remember, take the tips that work for you and leave the rest. So if you don't want to intermittent fast, you don't have to. Now this next tip, I think everyone should do. And it was a hard lesson for me to learn because yes, I was that picky eater that didn't really like vegetables when I was growing up. But now I love them. So I always have my favorite broccoli or Brussels sprouts or red bell peppers, something. You want to add in vegetables, lots of different colors. You're getting the nutrients and the fiber from that. And that's really going to help you crowd out some of that processed food, Once you start eating those vegetables on a regular basis, you're gonna notice that you actually crave them. I know, crazy. Now, eating hack number 11 is I want you to plan your plate. I want you to have protein, vegetables, and carbohydrates, and eat it either protein or fiber first and save the carbs for the last part of the meal. Just like I've been talking to you about that blood sugar response. You want to start with protein or fiber, those vegetables or those meats, and then have your carbs like your sweet potatoes or squashes or fruit at the end of the meal. When you plan that order, it's going to have lower blood sugar impact, and it's going to help you feel full longer, and it's going to help you drop some of that weight. Now, eating hack number 12, you know I'm gonna have to say it. You're gonna have to watch your sugar. I want it at least less than 25 grams a day, but ideally 0 added sugar. But I get it, it's hard to get away from that. So the first step in doing that is reading the labels. If it has more than 5 grams of added sugar, I consider that a dessert. Like I told you about the yogurts, when you pay attention to the labels, you're gonna see how sneaky that sugar can be. And that sugar is not doing you any favors on that waistline. So either reduce or eliminate sugar. Eating hack number 13 is to count ingredients, not necessarily calories. I want you to get in the habit of actually reading the ingredient label at the store. Are those ingredients things that your grandmother would recognize and know she had in her pantry, or are they been manufactured since then? And when there's a long list, I feel like that's a red flag. You want simple ingredients if you're gonna have packaged foods. One ingredient foods that are in your produce, the meat, dairy section, those are your best bets. But if you're gonna eat packaged food, smaller ingredient label and things that you recognize. It can be so annoying when that little change oil light comes on in your car. You know it's time for an oil change. Well, the same can happen in your body. Signs of inflammation like added weight, burping, gas, feeling tired after meals, joint pain, brain fog, those are all little warning signs that inflammation might be happening. So it might be time for an oil change. So eating hack number 14 is change the oils you eat. There's a lot of publicity right now to drop the seed oils. Stick to avocado oil, olive oil, coconut oil, maybe even some real butter. Those are going to be better for you. Your body processes them better. And the way I know this for a fact, my husband has rheumatoid arthritis, and he notices when we travel and eat out a lot, they're not using these better oils, his joints hurt more. Just by changing your oils helps you lower inflammation, helps you feel better, get some of your energy back, and drop some of that weight. And eating hack number 15 goes along with that. You've got to listen to your body and stop eating the foods that make you feel like crap. That means you've got to pay attention. After a meal, do you have gas, bloating? Do you feel tired and you just want to go straight to the couch? Do you have trouble thinking clearly? Do you get headaches? Maybe you have allergies. All of those are signs of inflammation, and you've got to backstep it to what you ate. Everyone is different, so pay attention to how foods actually make you feel, and maybe take a break from ones that you suspect are causing that inflammation. Now, eating hack number 16 might be a hard pill to swallow, but when you're trying to lose weight, trying to burn that fat, alcohol is not doing you any favors. So switch to some mocktails. A good blood sugar friendly hack is to add a little apple cider vinegar, and then I like to add a little flavored sparkling water and put it in a fun glass. And I feel like I'm having a treat, but it's actually helping me keep my blood sugar more stabilized because the vinegar helps with that. Plus it kind of tastes like a treat. And there's plenty of mocktails on the market too that you can try. So while you're in a fat loss mode, ditch the alcohol and do more mocktails. Cheers. Now, tip number 17, I probably learned back in the days of the Weight Watchers, but it still really works. That is to eat on smaller plates. When you plate it with a smaller plate, you're gonna have less portions, but your eye visually feels like you have enough. I can clean my plate and still feel satisfied. So this is a good visual cue to just get smaller portions by eating on smaller plates. Now, eating hack number 18 is simply cooking your meals at home, planning what you're gonna eat. Have simple meals, but when you cook at home, you have control of the ingredients and the portions. So it's a lot easier to stay on track. I get it if you don't like to cook a lot. That's why I do a lot of sheet pan meals that are just throwing the vegetables and the meat on the same pan, seasoning it, and throwing it in the oven. Have some very easy meals in your freezer ready to go so that you can eat more at home. Your waistline will thank you. Eating hack number 19. I know you know this, but are you really doing it? And that is stopping when you're 80% full. If you've done some of the other eating hacks, you've chewed more, you've slowed down, you can really check into your hunger more easily. You take breaks. Am I still hungry? And then you can stop before you're stuffed. I always like to say, never starving, but never stuffed. So that 80% full is a sweet spot to help you eat just enough and start dropping that weight. I don't know about you, but I grew up in a time where we ate dinner as a family at the table. It was a special treat to get our TV trays and watch Walt Disney World on TV and eat in front of the TV. We didn't do that very often. But in today's society, we oftentimes eat distracted. We're either eating in the car. If you go to a restaurant, you cannot avoid all the TVs. There's plenty of things to distract us. And that makes it very hard to stop when we're 80% full if we're not paying attention. So eat with people, not devices, and really pay attention and enjoy the food so that you can stop when you've had enough. We're all gonna slip up sometimes. Maybe we're gonna eat the cake or have the snacks or eat too much. But I want you to get to that next good choice as fast as you can. Maybe it's at the next meal you eat a salad, or you go for a walk right after, or you drink some water. Get to that next healthy choice and you're reaffirming, I am a person that makes healthy choices. The last tip, which is crucial to sticking with this long term and making it part of your healthy lifestyle, that is recover quickly. And you don't beat yourself up for having one of those indulgences. It matters more what you do most of the time instead of just occasionally. So most of the time, I want you to make those healthy eating choices that are gonna help you look and feel your best. Just in case you're wondering, there is no perfect diet. We all have different genetics. We all have different experiences, tastes, and preferences. Now is your time to experiment and design your way of eating that helps you look and feel your best. And if you're still curious about what I eat, you'll want to watch this video where I give you 5 anti-inflammatory foods I eat each week to manage my menopause symptoms. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.